Good evening from Ewood Park. Live and exclusive coverage of the match between Blackburn Rovers and Sheffield Wednesday, the first leg of the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. And don't forget a place at Wembley in April awaiting the winners. Well, Mark Bright of Sheffield Wednesday is with me. We'll hear from Mark at half-time. Also with us is Jack Charlton, the Republic of Ireland manager, and he is with our match commentator, Alan Parry.
Thanks, Ian. A perfect night for football, and as kick-off approaches, let's check the teams very quickly. Blackburn bringing in Norwegian international Henning Berg for his full debut at right back, and another Scandinavian, the Swedish international Patrick Andersson, replaces the injured Kevin Moran at centre-half. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, without both their strikers, David Hirst and Mark Bright. Paul Warhurst is proving to be a very capable stand-in, though, and Chris Bart-Williams has recovered from injury to line up alongside him in attack. Tonight's referee is Tony Ward from Southgate in London, and it's Blackburn Rovers in that traditional strip of white and blue quarters to get the game underway here. Sheffield Wednesday tonight in their change strip of yellow shirts and black shorts. Substitutes Ian Atkins and David May for Blackburn. The two Nigels, Jensen and Pearson on the Wednesday bench. And as far as current form is concerned, well, it points very much to a difficult night for Blackburn, who've lost 7 of their last 13 games in the Premier League, including 3 straight defeats, while Sheffield Wednesday have gone 11 matches without losing. Terrific atmosphere here from a crowd of around 18,000 as Wegerle fails to control the ball. Shirtliff captaining Sheffield Wednesday tonight to Nielsen. One of 2 Swedish internationals out there, and the free kick goes in Sheffield Wednesday's favour. The foul by Gordon Cowans on Danny Wilson. Danny Wilson played in 2 League Cup finals in his Luton Town days, and Gordon Cowans played for Villa in the 77 version of this competition. Here's Waddle. Turned on by Sheridan. Bart-Williams turning away from the defenders, and Waddle with a clever cross with the outside of the left foot, just about cleared by Berg. And in the end, what looked a promising moment for Sheffield Wednesday comes to nothing. Jackie Charlton.
Well, that was a lovely move. Great cross by Chris. He's one of those very well-balanced players. Always uses his left foot, but he can do with the outside of his left foot exactly what he wants to do with it, and he's a great cross. But the game is not settled very much yet. I thought it was going to be very slow when it first started, and then we got a nice little foul in midfield, and I thought, oh, the ball woken up.
Referee giving a free kick against Carlton Palmer there. And the Blackburn roar really full-throated. Newell up front, waiting for the free kick, but it goes in short to little Alan Wright on the left-hand side. And difficulty for Sheffield Wednesday. And finally, Bart-Williams came to their rescue. And then a good ball out by Sheridan sets Harks, the American international, free on the left. Wilson. Palmer. Bart-Williams. Nigel Worthington. And a good challenge on Bart-Williams. Full international debut, or rather full cup debut, I should say, for the Norwegian international Henning Berg tonight. He's only played half an hour previously as a substitute against Crystal Palace. And again, he gets a foot to the loose ball. Flicked on by Newell, but no problems for Wednesday. Chris Woods, the England goalkeeper, was immediately put under pressure, though. Now Wilson. And virtually took it off his own player then. This is Wilcox. Held up nicely by Newell. Cowans arrives in support. And a good layoff. Right. Well, he got the cross wrong, but applause from the crowd for A good passing movement there by Blackburn Rovers, with Alan Wright, who was Kenny Dalglish's first signing when he brought him down from Blackpool for £500,000, finally putting the cross into the crowd. The only other time, incidentally, the Blackburn Rovers have been in the semi-final of this competition was no less than 31 years ago. It was only the second season of the League Cup, long before Kenny Dalglish had even come down to English football. Roy Wegerle doing well.
There's not much happened in the game up to now. It started off, but Blackburn look as if they're going to be the team that close them down very quickly. Sheffield Wednesday seem to be wanting to just settle down, get the ball down and play a little bit, but they're getting hustled all over the place, just like that.
Wilcox getting an important foot in there. Newell, and he's done well on the byline, but the final cross not quite so good, but there's still danger here. Wegerle doing well, and in the end, actually could have done even better, and he knows it. Roy Wegerle's skill and close control set him up nicely then, but the final shot, Jack, not too impressive. Yeah, but when the ball comes to Wegerle here, what a lovely bit of actual play. He'll come to him in a minute. But watch this, just a little check, a little have a look, and a little... He was about 2 foot out the line, and that was from outside the box. He's a tremendously gifted player, Wegerle. I admired him greatly when he played for America last summer. We played against him in America, and he looked terrific there. It's been a good positive start by Blackburn, this. Tackle on young Wilcox, wins them a throw-in as well. Sherwood laying it off. Swept out to the right-hand side where Berger's joined the attack. And a good ball in, and you could see how close Wegerle was to reaching that header from Mike Newell even before Chris Woods did. I think you might have found him offside there. Ball breaks calmly for Waddle. Warhurst making a good run for him in the middle. And he looks to find him, and terrible marking, and that could easily have been the first goal of the game, and Blackburn's central defenders just seem to go AWOL. Warhurst with a marvellous chance to give Sheffield Wednesday the lead. Well, it's been a rumbustious start to this game, all right. A real cup tie, this. And danger here as Wilcox breaks into the box, and Woods got down safely. Good handling by Chris Woods, but Blackburn again will feel that maybe Jason Wilcox could have made more of that. Two wonderful chances in about 10 seconds there, one at one end of the field, straight on to the other end. Both good chances that maybe should have both been goals. Certainly the Sheffield Wednesday one, the header Warhurst had there, was really unforgivable that he missed the target. Nielsen playing it forward, and Sheridan couldn't quite release Waddle. Bart Williams then dispossessed by Sherwood. Nice little touch by Wegerle. Ripley couldn't keep possession. Parks doing well. Now Sheridan. Back it goes to Palmer. Good football in midfield by Sheffield Wednesday. High on confidence at the moment. 8 wins in their last 9 games. This is Wilson going forward again for them. Trying to play a 1-2 with Warhurst. Wilcox breaks for Blackburn. Good running by Ripley. But not a very good ball. Nielsen with an important interception, and it comes back to the Swedish international. Nice ball by Cowan, showing all his experience to find the room then where none had seemed possible. Worthington's interception. Hawks taking it on for Sheffield Wednesday. And Worthington kept going down that left-hand side and pulls the ball back to the American international, who slipped at the vital moment. Henry brings it clear. Well, that's a terrible ball, though. Worthington again. And Henry made up for his own error. Wegley. Ball forward for Newell. On it goes to Wilcox. And a great run here. Wegley's done really well to escape the defender. It's a brilliant finish. And Roy Wegley joins in the celebrations for the goal. Beautifully executed.
What a lovely run here by Wegley. He just took the ball, saw the space, went past the defender, never going to be caught. Had a little look, just threw Chris Woods the wrong way for a start and slotted it in. Excellent goal from a very, very good player. Just watch the way he takes this here.
A magnificent finish by Roy Wegley, his 9th goal of the season and his 4th, in fact, in the Coca-Cola Cup. Only 9 minutes gone, and Blackburn get the start they wanted. And really, we've had 3 or 4 good chances now at both ends of the field. If it carries on like this, Jack, I think we're in for a terrific tie.
We are, but I'm finding, looking at the game as it's happening now, that there's a lot of room in midfield for both sets of players. They're finding room to play and get forward and serve their passes and to run with the ball. And this really is making it such an open game. We're getting full-backs attacking as well. The 2 left-backs have attacked from the beginning of the game. And it's interesting now.
Henry's through ball finds its way through to Wegley. Right, gets it back from Wilcox, good football, and Waddle just leaned his shoulder in and did well. And back it goes to Waddle from Nielsen, but it's given away this time by the former Tottenham man. And Blackburn switched from left to right to keep possession. Sherwood playing it on, and it was a late challenge that caught him as he played the ball forward. The referee decides Danny Wilson will be cautioned for that. Sorry, Jackie.
I didn't think there was much in it, actually. I just thought he went to block the ball, and it was an unfortunately mistimed tackle rather than anything nasty. Looking at it again, I might have been wrong.
I think you would have not thought that if you'd been on the end of it anyway.
Well, I've changed my mind.
Good-looking free kick too, which Palmer hooks clear, and a bit of a misunderstanding there amongst the Sheffield Wednesday defenders, and a lot of chat going on to try and sort that out.
It's interesting when Chris Waddle goes back into a defensive position now, like that one, that they aim in the ball at Chris Waddle, because they know that Chris doesn't like to head the ball very much, and they're putting Newell in there with him, and that was a free header, and it could have been a second goal. Never been a great header of the ball, Chris. Never liked it too much.
Woods hitting it first time. A little bit lucky to get away with that. But then Wilson loses possession. And it comes back to him. Sheridan. Waddle. Had a stroke of luck there to find Hawks. And now Worthington. Good support play from Wilson, taking it off his own player, Worthington. And now forward to Hawks. Offside, Chris Clark-Williams. And have another look at that excellent goal by the South African-born Roy Wegley, who'll be playing for the United States of America due to parental qualifications in next year's World Cup finals.
He actually could have played for almost every country in the United Kingdom. I never thought of him for the Irish. I wish I had him.
He's probably been on a holiday in Ireland, Jack. You don't think you could do the Oracle?
Well, it's too late now. He is one of those exciting players that's always like to do something that the crowd will love.
skill from Berg, but he dwelt on it a bit too long, and Wilson takes it off him. Harks gets it onto his favoured right foot. Now Wilson again. Back it comes to Sheridan. Nielsen goes forward and gets the return ball. And the cross pulled back dangerously for Bart Williams. And it's a goal. It's the equalising goal. Harks has done it.
I thought for a minute that Bart Williams was going to have a shot there. Lovely 1-2. Pull back here. Nicely pulled back. I thought he was going to have a shot here, but he just clipped it back across. And there he was, Harks coming in. Nice goal. Good equaliser. And I think deserved. Nobody deserved to be in front at this stage of the game here. But it's nice to have a couple of goals.
14 minutes gone. Blackburn Rovers 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. A beautifully worked goal by Wednesday. And John Harks has now got 4 goals in his last 8 games. They may be missing their 2 first-choice strikers, but 1 or 2 other players are weighing in with some valuable goals, as Harks did then. Normally we would talk in this competition about the extra value of an away goal, but in fact away goals don't count in the semi-final stage. They do count on the night though, and they've certainly lifted Sheffield Wednesday's confidence, and as Jack Charlton rightly said, it's no more than they deserve, because it's been a marvellously open start to this game. Good football by both sides, and Harks has justifiably brought Wednesday level. Hendry's free kick, cleared by Shirtliff. Cowlands, delightful little ball on, and just about kept in play by Berg. Not a bad looking cross either, and Wilcox must have called for the ball in behind Newell and Wegerle, and in fact has won the corner. Coming up for the kick, and Sherwood got the shot all wrong when the ball fell nicely for him on the edge of the box.
As long as we get the situation happening here, where we're getting midfield players supporting the front players very, very quickly and getting people up there around the edge of the opposing boxes, we're going to have a very open game, and who knows how many goals we can see. It's nice to see that neither of the teams have decided that they're going to just see if they can hold on to a draw or to what they've got. Smashing game up to now.
Certainly in marked contrast to the first semi-final, the first leg of it anyway, on Sunday between Crystal Palace and Arsenal, where it was very one-sided, of course, at the start of that game. Warhurst didn't realise he had the ball then. He doesn't anymore. Ripley. Worthington showing him the touchline. He still managed to make an attempted cross and has won the throw-in off Carlton Palmer. Newell turning it back in. This is Wilcox. And it seems that both sides are having little spells of ascendancy here. Waddle for Sheffield Wednesday.
He's getting no change out of Alan Wright, Chris Waddle. In fact, Alan Wright is probably putting more pressure on Chris than Chris is putting on him, and he's the fullback.
When the sides met in October at Hillsborough in a league game which ended in a 0-0 draw, by Alan Wright's own admission, he was given a torrid time by Chris Waddle. In fact, he says he was the only winger he's played against in the Premier League who's really destroyed him, so he was a little bit apprehensive about the clash again tonight, but so far he has nothing to worry about. So far. Long way to go. 1-1 here. Splendid match. Warhurst for Sheffield Wednesday, playing it through to Bart Williams. Well, it was a clever attempt, I suppose you'd call it, by the 18-year-old as he spotted Bobby Mims slightly out of position.
It was a half-hearted sort of finish. I'm not being too impressed with Patrick Anderson, the Swedish lad. He seems to not know what's going on here at this time. He's not picking up like he should, and he's not knowing where people are running. He's probably the weak link in the Blackburn defence at the moment. He's a very good player, but he's a bit new to this.
Here goes Waddle for Wednesday. Good little ball infield again. And Sheridan fighting hard to keep possession. Wegley's layoff. Ball back to him, intercepted by Nielsen. Doesn't he do that beautifully with the outside of the left foot? Second time we've seen that already. Offside this time, though.
It takes a player with great balance to be able to do that. Chris is extremely good.
Inspirational signing Waddle was in the summer from Marseille. Newell is not one of those to ever give up. He'll chase every lost cause, but he never had much hope with that. Chris Woods will no doubt be hoping for a quieter time next week when he plays in goal, assuming he's selected anyway by Graham Taylor for England against San Marino, but he's already been busy enough here. Warhurst touching it on. Henry's clearance. And the free kick goes Sheffield Wednesday's way on the halfway line. Peter Shirtlif's been in outstanding form. The only Sheffield-born player in the side and captain in the absence of Nigel Pearson, who's on the bench tonight. This is Bart Williams putting it back for Sheridan. Sheridan onto the return ball. It's Sheridan with a lovely little flick. It's in, and they've turned a one-goal deficit into a 2-1 lead after only 20 minutes.
Well, I told you that Anderson is a little bit out of sorts, and he's not doing what he should be doing, which is closing the man in front of him down, and they're allowing little 1-2s to happen like this. And he's not picked up like he should have done there. You see, and it's a little flick into the side net by John Sheridan, one of my players, incidentally, who plays for the Republic of Ireland. Very good player. Great passer to the ball. Also scores once at 1 or 2.
Well, it was Sheridan's goal, which won the League Cup against Manchester United 2 years ago at Wembley, and here tonight it's his goal which has given Wednesday the lead. But at the other end, it was Palmer's important interception that prevented a moment of danger in the Wednesday goal mouth. What a terrific tie this is. Cowans with the corner kick. Blackburn 2-1 down. Woods knew he was reasonably safe. He stretched for it anyway, but the ball straight out of play for a goal kick. Jack, we can have another look at that cheeky finish by Sheridan.
There you go. There's where he should have been picked up, you see, by the Dane, by the Swedish player Anderson, and he wasn't. He's allowed to run free, and John's not that quick in those situations, which means that the Swedish lad was a little bit slow.
Wednesday have lost only 2 out of 20 matches since Sheridan came back into the side, having missed the beginning of the season with a bad knee injury. Henry can only find Worthington with the clearance. Good play. Parks. And turns it back dangerously to Warhurst. And now it's set up for Sheridan. Waddle with a back heeler. And certainly when you attack the heart of this Blackburn defence, they don't look too comfortable. But equally, they look very effective on the attack themselves. Newell bringing it down. I don't think we've seen the end of the scoring by any means here. Sherwood finding Wegley. Right. Good little ball in towards Ripley, but he headed it the wrong way, actually. Away from his teammates. Offside, Chris Williams.
When you looked at that little bit of play there, it's amazing how few players there are between the back fours and the forward players. And there is enormous amounts of room for people to come away with the ball and play. And when you get back fours who are playing very square, like both these teams are very square across the back, if they get people running at them from the midfield, it means the centre-backs have got to do something. And they've got to come to the player on the ball, and it creates angles and people can play through you. There's a lot of faults in the way they're playing tonight, but it's interesting and it's good to watch. It means there might be a lot more goals.
Palmer winning it back for Sheffield Wednesday, but then gives it away again. Right. And Newell's pass was rather obvious. Waddle on the counter-attack for Wednesday. Warhurst in the middle. Waddle goes alone. It's a lovely run. And that must have been a difficult one for Bobby Mims to save on the near post. As Waddle shaped to make the cross, and most of the defenders fell for it.
Here he is on his right foot. That's as hard a ball as I've ever seen Chris hit with his right foot. It was a good attempt as well. He actually hit the target.
Shirtley forward for the resulting corner. It's gone back short to Waddle again. Niels. Well, Mims, I think, had that one covered all the way, but still, it was nicely struck by Sheridan.
Still far too much room when the ball came back to John here. You watch the room he's got when it's laid back. John, no one's closed him down. Nobody's gone to stop the shot. And if it had hit the target, it would have been another goal.
I think that's exactly the point that Bobby Mims was making to his defenders then.
You cannot let people sort out and see shots.
Waddle for England, the cry from the Sheffield Wednesday supporters, about 5,000 of them here tonight. Not, of course, selected in Graham Taylor's current squad.
That actually surprises me. I thought you made the call, Chris, up into this one.
Oh, Warhurst doing well here, and he's only got one defender to beat it. It's a splendid finish. Paul Warhurst has made it 3 for Sheffield Wednesday.
You see, you've got it again here. Colin Hendry left on his own. No one's gone to the man. He's now left on his own with nobody behind him, nobody picking up. And a player running at him with the ball. It's devastating for centre-backs then. They don't know whether to tackle, whether to drop off, whether to go with the player. 3-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. Great. Might finish up, what, who knows, 6-6?
Incredible scoreline, and only 26 minutes gone. Blackburn 1, Sheffield Wednesday 3. Paul Warhurst, who's actually a centre-half, has now scored in each of his last 4 games. And it's his 9th goal in all this season, Jack.
He didn't play that goal, he didn't take that goal like a centre-back. Being in that sort of position myself, I wouldn't have known where to go. But he did exactly right, took the ball at him, sent him the wrong way, went inside and squeezed his shot inside the post and knew what he was doing.
Well, Trevor Francis takes the credit for discovering in Warhurst something that he believed could turn him into a stand-in striker in the absence of Hurst and Bright. He tried it out in a practice match. Warhurst scored 6 goals in that training match, and he's been in the side ever since in that position.
What normally happens when you play a player, the centre-back particularly, you play him up front as a centre-forward, he runs all over the place. In fact, he runs far too much. Warhurst just goes through the motions of the centre-forward in midfield. He's not chased particularly wide on any occasions. He's just done the job up the middle. And it's paid off.
Wilcox trying to get Blackburn back into the driving seat. But they're 3-1 down here, having taken a 1-0 lead. And they've been leaking goals in recent matches. Before tonight, they conceded 10 goals in 3 successive Premier League defeats. I saw them lose 5-2 here against Coventry City, and their defence that night was full of holes, and I have to say it is again tonight so far.
I can't see Kenny leaving Anderson on too long, unless he hasn't got a replacement for him, of course. But the boy does look very nervous, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. The Swedish side he played in play a very, very strict offside situation where they come out in a straight line and play, and he's not knowing what to do.
Worthington time to bring it clear and pick a target. And he picked him out beautifully. Bart Williams, on it goes again to Warhurst. Another yawning gap at the heart of Blackburn's defence. Now Waddle wants a piece of the action. Look for a free kick. Referee Ward could hardly have been better placed and has said play on. And at the moment, it's all Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn's confidence has been torn apart by those 3 goals in quick succession by Wednesday. Hardly surprisingly.
They certainly look impressive, Sheffield Wednesday. They looked a little bit square across the back and a little bit vulnerable in the early part of the game, but they've sorted that out a little bit now. And Blackburn Rovers aren't getting at them nearly as much as they did in the early stages. Peter Shirtcliffe's one of my boys, actually. I signed Peter at 16 as a schoolboy. He's done very well, had a good career.
Nielsen finding Waddle. And again, the outside of the left foot to Bart Williams. The accuracy he produces with that most difficult skill. And in it goes to Warhurst. It's another goal! This is turning into one of the stories of the season. Warhurst's second, Wednesday's fourth. Blackburn look a shambles at the back.
See, a lot of it, Henry doesn't know what to do. He's a good player, Colin Henry, but he doesn't know what to do. He's got a player playing alongside him who looks totally out of his depth, actually, at this level.
Well, just look at that scoreline, with 15 minutes still remaining before the half-time interval. Blackburn 1, Sheffield Wednesday 4. It is going to take a miracle of some proportions now for Blackburn Rovers to even keep the second leg alive at this rate. What can they do about this situation? And just think, 20 minutes or so ago, it had looked so different with Blackburn in the lead. And Sheffield Wednesday must feel at the moment, every time they attack, they could get a goal.
You see, the game started off and Sheffield were being put under a bit of pressure in midfield, but that stopped. Now they've got as much room as they want to play on it, and John Sheridan is having as much room as he likes just to play balls like this, to see them and play them.
Warhurst fouling Patrick Anderson that time. He's on a hat-trick, of course, now, this centre-half turn striker. In fact, he's even got the decision there from the referee. It looked at first as though Mr. Ward had given the free kick against him, but he's given it in his favour. And Mims must be shell-shocked.
That last goal, I couldn't believe, actually. There's so many bad things happening. The ball crossed that should never have been allowed to get in the middle.
Waddle, decent cross, and panic again. Oh, that was a tremendous effort. And even Hawks has got the confidence now to whack them on the volley.
See, Chris Waddle. I always used to say to fullbacks, you've got to stop wingers crossing the ball. It's no good you stand and let him do all his tricks and then let him knock the ball past you. You've got to get in there and you've got to make it hard for him to cross his ball. Chris Waddle has just knocked the ball in every time he's had it, outside of the foot, inside of the foot, whatever he wanted, he's crushed the balls into the middle.
This is brilliant stuff at the moment from Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn simply have no answer to them. Perhaps Newell and Wilcox and Wegerle can get something moving up front now. Berg. Cowans. Strong in the challenge, Gordon Cowans, and threads it through to right on this side. And it's a cheeky effort. Oh, Wegerle so close to his second, and really Blackburn desperately need another one now before half-time to give them any hope, anything to bite on.
Well, it happened as well because, that was a good attack. That was a good situation and it could have been a goal. That ball just sort of half scraped off the outside of the post. It could have gone inside. 4-2, you're always in with a chance. Who knows, if Alan Shearer's in the next match or had played tonight, it might have been 4-4 at the time.
Well, if this match carries on in this fashion, it'll have the statisticians scurrying for their record books. Newell. Wilcox. Right. Tries to set it up again for Cowans. The shot deflected away. Oops, that was a bit embarrassing on Roland Nielsen's part. And Blackburn have a corner. Taken it before even Nielsen's got back. And in the end, Blackburn got in each other's way. Over the head of Worthington this time. Too deep for Newell. But he's reached it. Wilcox. It's a dangerous ball into Sherwood. And Sherwood across the face of goal. And it was a spectacular effort by Henry. But Wednesday have survived. And Bart Williams in there scrapping to break up this period of attacks from Blackburn. And he's done well. He's got the free kick. Well, Jack, just what does Kenny Dalglish do about this now?
He's got to do something about his back four to stop giving any more goals away. That's a certainty. His players are coming forward from midfield okay, and his forward players are playing quite well, and they're making good positions. But there's that lack of competition across midfield between their midfield and their back four. And it's allowing Sheffield Wednesday to dictate the pace of the game and how they run, where they're going. I think they've got to get to Sheffield a little bit quicker than they've been doing.
Well, who knows? One more goal for Blackburn. Might, it's a big might, change the picture slightly. At the moment, they're more worried about defending. Mims getting it forward. Parks can only head it down, though, to show. Now Wegan. Cowans. Right. This is Wilcox. And Cowans invites the young fullback to go forward again. I think they want Newell in the box, really, rather than out there, because he's one of those who can bring them back into the picture. Decent cross, though. Regularly couldn't reach it. Now Bart Williams for Sheffield Wednesday, who lead here by 4 goals to 1. Cowans. Well, there's a nervousness about Blackburn whenever the ball's in their own half. Now they've gifted possession back to Wednesday again. One, faced by Wilcox. Uses the old trick again. To no avail this time, though. It's a good ball. Now they've got possibilities here, Blackburn. As Wilcox hits it in early, and a mistake by Palmer. It's an own goal. I think he's a bit upset with Chris Woods. Jack.
I'm trying to work out who crossed the ball.
Wilcox.
Wilcox, a great cross. I thought he had put it too near the goalkeeper. It was only Palmer getting in the way of it that the goal went in. I mean, just watch it here. It's a good cross and a good run. And they've done this quite a lot, Blackburn. Get in behind the Sheffield defence, but a good cross, but I thought too near the keeper. And there we go, 4-2. Who knows where this is going to end?
What an astonishing match. 4-2, and I'll let you into a little secret here. The commentator lost a contact lens before the match. I've had a replacement rushed out to me. I was thinking, I hope it's a nice quiet first half before the replacement arrives. Some hope. 6 goals. Marvellous entertainment, though. Absolutely marvellous stuff. And that's got the Blackburn fans behind their team again. Nice little layoff, looking for Sherwood, and Sherwood gets round the challenge. Worthington did well for Wednesday then, though, and again. Well, on such moments of ill fortune, as far as Palmer was concerned, can a game turn? I wonder if that own goal might just give Blackburn a glimmer of hope and get them back into the match here. Lovely football. Berg goes forward and finds Ripley, who tried to lay it back into his path. It wasn't a very accurate ball, though. Bart Williams taking on Hendrick. Cowans arrived to help.
Actually, SheffieldWed are really doing themselves no favours at the moment. They've adopted sort of the ploy that was at the start of the game. They're sitting back on top of their own back four and allowing Blackburn now to dictate the balls they want to play forward, instead of coming out and competing across the midfield the way they've been doing early on in the game. And the balls they won there, then they were allowed to run at the Blackburn defence, and they've scored their goals that way. At the moment, it looked like Blackburn were going to get another goal there.
Waddle with a deft little header down, but now there's a new determination about Blackburn. That goal has certainly made a difference to them. Worthington looks it long for Bart Williams, but Anderson finds Hendry, and on it goes to Berg. Now Sherwood. Wegley. Oh, well played. Brilliant skill by Wegley. Ripley on the right touchline. And he looks again for Newell on the far post. Good defending. Nielsen and Woods combined to calm a dangerous moment.
That was a wonderful piece of play again by Wegley there. Great run, great little ball, good cross. Could have been 4-3.
Poised to hit it on the volley, and still got his shot in. Well, it's difficult to see here, Jack, who was in the wrong, Carlton Palmer or Chris Woods. You blame the goalkeeper for not shouting.
Well, he must have a shot from the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper had already come for the cross, and he was standing right behind in line, and I thought he was going to go to the goalkeeper. But of course, he's got to get a shot from Chris Woods. And even then, when you're a centre-back, sometimes when a ball's coming in the air and you get a call from your goalkeeper and you know you can head it, you tend to think, well, do what's best first. But it was a mistake. But these things happen in a game of football, particularly in this game.
Some game of football, this, yeah. Berg. That's a good ball for Cowans. And on it goes again for young Wilcox. Set up the shot. Didn't really get any sting behind it, though. Well, I wonder what Trevor Francis's emotions are at the moment. The Sheffield Wednesday manager, having seen his side romp into a seemingly unassailable lead, might now be thinking at 4-2, it's a different ball game.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday can also score some more goals, you know. We're talking, looking at it and hoping that Blackburn will keep the game alive. But Sheffield Wednesday on the break are very, very capable of scoring some more goals. They've proved that. At the moment, they're under the cosh a little bit, mainly because they're not closing people down quick enough.
2 minutes to half-time. It's Blackburn 2, Sheffield Wednesday 4. Wegley trying to weave his way through cleverly again. Anderson's clearance. Helped on once more to Wilcox, who's finding room on this left-hand side, and that was a good cross. In fact, the linesman had flagged. So there's an offside verdict.
It was a very, very good ball from Wilcox. The one that he was expected to take it on to the dead ball line, but he didn't. He looked up, saw the space behind the defenders, and played a lovely ball across what we call across the line, which is going right across behind your back four. And I think it was Newell coming in on it, and it certainly looked as if he was onside to me. But then again, I'm at a different angle to the referee or the linesman.
Good clear by Anderson. Cowans dispossessed, but foul then by Wilson. 34 now, Gordon Cowans, in his second season here at Blackburn. And threading things together now in the middle of the field. Right. Good ball forward for Wegerle. His skill continues to open things up whenever he has the ball. Oh, that's a good effort. Oh, Cowans doesn't score many goals in his career, only one so far this season. But when he does hit the ball, he hits it sweetly.
Gordon Cowans is a lovely little player. He's a good player on the ball. I'm not sure that he's the strength that Blackburn need in that position in centre midfield. When they've got the ball and they're playing it about and the game's open, Gordon is a great player to have. But when he's got to really tackle and put his foot in across midfield and make himself felt, he's not that type of player. And he's playing centre midfield as well, which makes it even worse for him.
Well, it's been a quite astonishing first half here at Ewood Park. And it's ended, Blackburn Rovers 2, Sheffield Wednesday 4. Don't go away, we can promise you a lot more of what you've seen so far. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back. 4-2 for Sheffield Wednesday here at Ewood Park. Mark Bright, the Sheffield Wednesday striker, who's injured at the moment, out of the team. I mean, you must be elated with the way your team are playing.
Yeah, I mean, after the initial bad start, I think we put together some excellent football and scored some wonderful goals.
And yet, when we were sitting here and Roy Wegerle scored the first goal, I think you went, oh, it's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah, only after 9 minutes, something like that. But he did really well. He takes it through, just takes it past Peter Shirtcliffe, where he keeps his composure well. Just a little shimmy there, side foot. It's an excellent finish.
Well, that's class finishing, isn't it?
Yeah, quality.
You know, it's a striker yourself when it's shimmied.
Yeah, he kept his composure, that's the most important thing. Then he's hit the target, low shot.
But Wednesday got back into the game very quickly and played some lovely football. And John Harkes opening his scoring.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 of Roland Nielsen here. He cuts it back to Bart. He touches, it's a fast stick chip, and John Harkes does well. Low header across the keeper into the side of the net. I mean, I think we thoroughly deserve that as well.
John Sheridan's goal now.
Yeah, he plays it with Paul Warhurst. He keeps his composure as well, just stands up. It's only a little poke, it hardly reaches the back of the net, but that gave us the lead and I was really pleased then.
I mean, you're playing some lovely little one-touch football, little 1-2s around the box.
Yeah.
Is that something you practice at training a lot?
No, I think it's just off the cuff. With people like Chris Waddle, he's been in fine form for us, and John Sheridan, his passing ability, and the two standing players up front, they've done really well for us.
Well, talking about people up front, you're out the team at the moment. Paul Warhurst is taking your spot, David his spot up front there, and he's banged in a couple. So
yeah, excellent pace. As soon as he got onto this here, I thought we had a chance. Collinger comes across, but he's got two good feet as well, so he goes first one way, then the other, and it's a low drive. I mean, any striker would be proud to score that goal. It's excellent.
Well, here's his second one.
Yeah, Chris Williams pulls it back, another touch, onto his right foot this time, and that's another excellent finish. I mean, that's the finish of a striker who's in full confidence.
I mean, he is really a centre-back.
Yeah.
Being pushed up front.
Yeah, but some of his finishes have been just like a natural striker, really confident.
Well, I would think now that he's beginning to enjoy it up there. You'll be watching this second half and thinking, oh, no more, please.
No, the more the merrier for us. I mean, we could finish the tie in this leg, actually.
Sure. Well, they managed to fight back, Blackburn Rovers, and again, it was one of your players scoring. I mean, Wednesday players can't stop scoring. Carlton Palmer.
Yeah, I think the only thing in question is, did Chris Woods call for it? You know, he comes. I think he must call. I think he's correct to come as well. There's only one player just on the edge of the box, and you know he comes for it. And I think if he can take it comfortably, and Carlton maybe just thinks he can flick it over, and it's given a little bit of hope now. You know, maybe if we just keep it tight, we're going at half time, and 3 goals in it.
Do you think that's what Trevor Franson will be saying? Look, lads, this is not all over yet.
Yeah, there's plenty more football in this time. I mean, even in this half, I think that he'd be really pleased with the first half contribution. especially as we went 1 goal down. Plays excellent football, moved it well. The back players have supported the front players well, and I think it'll just be saying, don't concede anymore, and just, you know, if we can score another one, I think he'll be well pleased with this tie.
Okay, well, we'll take a break at this point, but I think I can almost assure you there'll be some more goals in the second half, so stay with us.
Welcoming you back to Ewood Park for the second half of this Coca-Cola Cup semi-final first leg match between Blackburn Rovers and Sheffield Wednesday. And a quite dramatic and astonishing first 45 minutes behind us, which have seen Blackburn Rovers take a 1-goal lead and end up going back into the dressing room at half-time 4 goals to 2 adrift. Trevor Francis, the Wednesday manager, is with Gary Newbot.
Trevor, that was a fantastic first half. I mean, did that second Blackburn goal start you wondering?
Well, obviously, if we'd gone in at 4-1, it would have been far better for us. But if you had said before the game we'd have a 2-goal advantage half-time, I'd have been happy with that.
So what was the message, briefly?
Well, continue going forward, because every time we go forward, it looks as if we're going to score. I'm not too sure whether we can keep it at 2 at the back, but I think we can score more goals. Thank you.
Well, there we are, and if Sheffield Wednesday adhere to their manager's advice, we could be in for even more fireworks, perhaps, in the second half.
Completely agree with him. If they sit back, they can get in trouble. If they go forward, they'll have to score more goals. And they played very well going forward, so why change it?
Waddle on the far side, gets them moving forward straight away. Bart Williams. Parks and Warhurst in the centre. But the cross never came in. Right now, though, as Waddle wins it back again and weaves his magic on the edge of the box. And Bart Williams wins the throw. Sheffield Wednesday in their second semi-final in 3 seasons in this competition. And they reached 3 successive quarter-finals in the early 80s. So they've got a good League Cup record in recent times. As Waddle gets it in again. Nice control from Wegerle. Cowlands hits it very early, looking for Newell. Palmer's clearance straight at Ripley. And Ripley goes past Palmer, who left his foot there, although the referee has not interpreted it that way. And much to the disgust of the home supporters, inevitably, has waved play on. Bart Williams. Got Warhurst in the middle, and looks for the hat-trick man. And, well, he might well have forged a third for himself. The boos are inevitably over that challenge on Ripley, which the referee decided was not a foul by Carlton Palmer. Make your own mind up. I thought it was.
It's easy to say it was. I mean, he's running very strongly, Stuart Ripley, and among a lot of players.
Waddle's cross. Henry gets it clear. Ripley almost caught then by Worthington as he played it forward. Palmer goes back to Chris Woods. Sorry, Jack. I was going to say the next goal could be really critical here, couldn't it?
Very critical. I mean, if it's Sheffield Wednesday's way, it can be anything to score then. But if it goes to Blackburn, we could finish up with a draw here. I remember playing and winning 4-1 at QPR, and then we won 5-2, and we finished up drawing 5 each. It can easily happen in a game of football. When it's as open as this one, anyway.
Sherwood leaves it to Cowans, straight away under pressure from Bart Williams. Right, and Cowans arrives to keep the support going. Not a bad ball forward either. And they've got a throw in out of it as Shirtliff cleared under pressure from Wegerle. Wilson's clearance, finds Cowans, but for once, couldn't keep possession.
This Anderson does things like that. I mean, a little header to a midfield player who's facing him with people on him, and all Gordon Cowans could do was turn and hook the ball up the park and on the play. He was lucky he didn't get flattened. It's not the sort of ball you play in English football.
Meantime, Warhurst clearly offside.
Stuart Ripley's not walking very well. I think he's just on the edge of the screen here. He's not walking very well. He looks like he really got a bit of a knock on his knee. He's had a very quiet game in this one up to now, actually, Stuart, for him. He's playing more as a centre midfield player than he is playing out on the right-hand side of the field, where he's normally very good.
Berg. A little ball on by the Norwegian, and he gets it back again from Sherwood. On to Newell. Ripley. And Ripley certainly did look a little slow there, lacking his sharpness, as Jack's been saying. Wood's clearance goes straight to Cowans. Now right. Shirtlip turns away as the route back to Chris Woods was closed down. And a foul then gives Blackburn the free kick. Warhurst argues the point, but a free kick nonetheless. Newell, the possible target here, but the free kick never reached him. Danny Wilson's interception. Cowans. Nielsen again wins it back for Sheffield Wednesday. And play confined in their half at the moment. And I understand from the Blackburn bench that Ripley is indeed in trouble. Stuart Ripley, the former Middlesbrough player, and might well be taken off soon if he can't run off this injury. They've got Atkins and May on the bench. I would have guessed it might be David May, who naturally plays on that right-hand side of the field, but Mark Atkins can fit in there equally well. As Worthington knocks it forward, Hendry's clearance. Wegley, given away. Sheridan. Worthington, good ball. Harks. Sheridan's there again, thinking with Harks. Waddle calling for it, he hits it deep towards Warhurst. Two defenders go for the same ball again there for Blackburn, and their problems seem to continue at the back. A lack of communication.
It's the number of balls that get played in. I mean, there's nobody seems to worry about stopping people crossing the ball. I mean, when Sheffield Wednesday get it wide, they manage to get the crosses in without anybody blocking them. And it happens the same at the other end. When will fullbacks learn that their job is to stop people crossing the ball, not seeing what happens at the end of it?
It's obviously going to be Atkins coming on by the looks of things, presumably to replace Ripley, as Waddle plays it in again. Got some later scores now from the Premier League. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 0. Bobby Bowery scoring the goal there for Palace. Southampton 2, Norwich City 0. So two of the leading sides down at the moment. They're all later scores, these. I mean, Atkins on now. Free kick hit quickly by Sherwood. And that's excellent defending by Worthington.
Did you really think so, Alan? I mean, when you get
about
fullbacks,
to say, at first it was, and then he made a mess of it.
When you get fullbacks trying to play balls like that over the top of people's heads and show their skill in the last third of their field, it makes me cringe. And Nigel Worthington, in my opinion, has been the outstanding left back in Great Britain over the last 10 years. You know, I mean, he was lucky to get away with that one, and it might have just put them at risk when it was not necessary.
Another the score for you here. Arsenal 0, Wimbledon 1. Dean Holdsworth scoring for Wimbledon. So all the leading sides struggling against the struggling sides at the moment. Wilson gives it away. Now Alan Wright. Taken by Newell on the chest, but that's a throw-in to Wednesday.
Oh, that was silly. Now, that was silly. What do they want to do things like that for? It's only a throw-in. And because it didn't go Newell's way, he throws the ball away like a little kid, and he's going to get himself a yellow card.
Yes, that show of petulance by Mike Newell could be costly.
I like the referee's outfits. We haven't mentioned them in the last couple of games. What colour would you call that?
I tell you, I'm the worst person in Great Britain on colours. I'd say purple. How
I was
about you?
thinking of puce or something like that. Actually, it looks like that.
How about your superior knowledge?
Well, look, I mean, look at this, the little lines around his legs as well. Look.
But in the blue and white at the other end, it's definitely Wegley causing problems for Sheffield Wednesday. Good clearance by Carlton Palmer.
It was just as well it was Carlton Palmer on that side of the field, because Wegley would have run away from the other centre-back. He's got a bit of pace. Carlton Palmer's got a little bit of pace, just managed to handle it.
Waddle again, using that left foot, but not quite so accurately this time. Newell's control lets him down. He keeps battling away, though, with Carlton Palmer. Incidentally, we were talking about the referee shirt there. It's interesting that it seemed to clash, the colour of that, with Chris Woods, the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper.
Yes, you're quite right. Maybe the referee didn't notice it. But it's the bits around the bottom of his shorts that I like.
Here goes Warhurst. Waddle on the right. And he wins the corner. And just to close the topic of referees' uniforms, why, oh why, we can't have the traditional all-black for referees. Heaven only knows whoever's idea that was. In my opinion, it was one of the worst ideas for many years. Good-looking cross, and Hart stealing in.
But there again, another cross by Chris. Ball's knocked out, knocked into him again. And he's allowed to cross it into the box. That's where the danger is. That's what the fullback on that side, little Adam Wright, should be stopping him from doing.
Well, almost incredibly, we haven't had an addition to the scoreline here, because the goals were coming at such frequent intervals in the first half. 6 of them there, as you can see, in the space of 37 minutes.
It must get anxious for Sheffield Wednesday now. They know that if they can just keep the score like this for the next half an hour, then they'll control the rest of the game. But if they give a goal away now, they're going to be under the cosh to keep the result that was there for the taking.
Bart Williams goes down under the challenge from Hendry. No foul. Palmer. Ooh, he showed the ball to Wegley then and just about got away with it. Those long legs got him out of trouble again. Now Waddle. Sheridan calling for it in the middle. But Waddle's going on a solo run, and a splendid effort. Well saved by Bobby Mims, but that would have been some goal.
Chris Waddle, this is what he's really good at. Taking the ball up to people, changing direction, going past them. He goes here, turns back onto his right foot and hits another cracker with his right foot. I can't believe this in Chris. Normally when he hits them, only he knows where they're going. Goalkeepers have no chance.
And Waddle himself takes the corner, looking for Shirt there from the near post. Worthington. Looking for Bart Williams, still forward from the previous corner. And offside. Wouldn't have counted. Parks was offside. And now he's got to chase some to get back as Blackburn pick up the pace of the game and get on with it from every free kick and throw it. Wilcox making a little run for him, but he was legally held off by Nielsen. And Shurtleff keeping an eye on Wegerle, and would be well advised so to do. As the cross comes in, though, the linesman's flag indicates offside.
Sheffield Wednesday have started to really dropping back a little bit. Blackburn have been playing the ball in behind the fullbacks and getting people running into those areas. And just at the moment, Sheffield Wednesday are dropping back and filling the areas there. Maybe Blackburn now will get a chance to play a little bit more across midfield when they're given the room there to play. Because the Black Fours drop off to the edge of their own 80-yard box, it usually means that they're a bit concerned about the pace of people in behind them.
Worthington gives his clearance away. And fortunately for him, Danny Wilson was on hand to win it back. Now Roland Nielsen. Wilson again. What? A lot of movement up front for him. He picks out Warhurst.
He's been a good servant to football, you know. Danny Wilson. He's been around a long, long time. He sits there in the centre of midfield for Sheffield Wednesday, and he does a very, very good, straightforward, honest job. Lets John Sheridan and Chris Waddle get on with their play. And very steady, very strong.
In fact, Trevor Francis was saying he can't believe that he's not in the Northern Ireland squad at the moment. Danny. 33 now, Wilson. And there's another Irish international, Worthington, getting it forward for Warhurst, who was fouling Sherwood.
The game is settled down to what it was in the early part of the game, actually. We've got two very square back fours. And they've closed up a little bit now. There's not as much room in midfield.
Almost a normal game at the moment.
Almost a normal game.
Sherwood playing it in, looking for Wegerle. Good clearance by Nielsen. This is Waddle. Well played, but he's given it straight to right. Pumped in towards Newell. Palmer's clearance, and again the fans screaming. They felt that Palmer was holding the Blackburn man down then. Played back to Cowans on the edge of the box and whipped straight off the line by Worthington, not allowing Chris Woods the benefit of the doubt, and quite right too.
It was one of those that could have quite easily sneaked in. Gordon Cowans hit it with his left foot. Good shot. Fullback kicked it away up the line as Chris Woods was trying to get there. Do it, don't leave it.
The second corner comes in, and they've survived again. He's had a bit of a torrid night in some ways, has Patrick Anderson, the Swedish international, defensively. And I'm sure he would love to try and, shall we say, put things right at the other end.
He was a very good player during the European Championships for Sweden. One of the outstanding players. He just didn't understand English football, I think, at the moment. And he's watching situations when he should be doing something about them.
Parks for Sheffield Wednesday. Good play by Newell. Now Sherwood. Wegerle. Berg. It's good football this time from Blackburn. And Berg goes forward. Wegerle's in support, and he almost threaded it through. Certainly, Blackburn, in terms of possession, are having their best spell of the game. And in fact, it's spread either side of half-time, this spell. Still 4-2 down. Bart Williams struggling away from the challenges. And that challenge from Worthington will not have pleased the referee at all.
It's getting a lot more competitive, the game, as it's getting tighter in the midfield now, and people are closing people down a lot quicker. There will be tackles like that happening, and it's getting a little bit frenetic in Peter Shirtcliffe now is doing a man-to-man marking job on Roy Wegerle, who's staying up front more than he should, actually. He's a much better player when he comes from midfield and settles on the ball and goes for return balls off people. But it's very tight at the moment, and we're going to get a little bit more of that sort of tackle. A little bit mistimed. I don't think anything intended.
Sherwood plays it in. Henry's gone up for it, and dangerous. Wegerle reaches the ball, but is dispossessed very skillfully by Roland Nielsen. Well, certainly the emphasis of attacking players switched in Blackburn's favour now. But here's Waddle trying to spring Wednesday forward. Wegerle chasing him all the way. It's a brilliant run by Waddle. He doesn't get the free kick he was hoping for. Sheridan. Waddle's still there, still eager, still wanting the ball, finding Harps. Offside here, as Warhurst must have felt his hat-trick was one strike away. Henry with a brave challenge, but the linesman had flagged anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're at a bad angle here to see it, round about just over the halfway line, and looking back. But I thought there was no offside there at all. I thought it was a very good one too. And I thought Warhurst was in with a great chance of getting another goal and getting his hat-trick. The linesman looked across the line and put his flag up when he saw the player in an offside position. But he didn't start from there.
Wegerle. Atkins. Good cross. Wegerle took it skillfully again, but a bit too elaborate that time, allowing Palmer to rob him.
Yeah, but he's got a lovely touch, hasn't he? I mean, that was a lovely little change of direction of the ball. Anything could have happened there. It didn't fall kindly for him, but he takes a chance on things like that regularly. Just a little in behind his front leg, change of direction of the ball.
Berg finding Atkins. Atkins pumps a dangerous-looking ball in, and well read by Chris Woods, and a good early throw. Nilsson. The news from the Wednesday bench is that Nigel Pearson, their centre-half and club captain, is about to come on. And we understand that it's likely to be Chris Williams he replaces. So that'll need a tactical switch around on Wednesday's part. A centre-half for a man currently playing up front. Sheridan in possession for Wednesday. And again, the offside verdict goes against Sheffield Wednesday.
I don't think it's a bad ploy, that. Because in bringing another defender on, the boy up front, Carlton, what do you call him, Bart Williams, is...
Bart Williams, yeah.
They don't need him now. At this stage of the game, they don't need him. What they do need is to make sure that they've got an extra defender at the back and see the game out. They've got the 20 minutes on the clock that they wanted to be talked about.
Well, Bart Williams has been suffering from a shin injury anyway. He missed the win over Everton on Saturday, and Nigel Pearson desperately unlucky to have lost his place in the side because the team's been doing so well in his absence, and he certainly won't let them down.
It might look like a defensive measure, but it's not necessarily so, because the midfield players at Sheffield are very good at getting forward anyway. It's not having players up front, it's getting players up front. And Chris Waddle has shown that can be done all the time. He'll cover the ground very quickly.
So we've just about reached the midway point in the second half, and no addition to the scoreline from half-time. Blackburn Rovers 2, Sheffield Wednesday 4. Warhurst will be fighting something of a lone battle up front now, and an audacious effort there by Waddle as the ball dropped to him all of, what, 30, 35 yards out.
That was with his left foot, and he missed the target. The two with his right hit the target.
He's enjoying his spell back in English football so much. Apparently Chris Waddle goes in on his days off for extra training, and Trevor Francis can't believe his appetite for the game. Here goes Warhurst. That's a deliberate foul by Henry. And what's the referee going to judge here, I wonder, apart from a free kick?
It doesn't even look as if he's going to give a yellow card, which that certainly deserved. I mean, apart from the fact that the two defenders were running to get back in position, he was in a goal-scoring position there. It was a bad tackle.
Well, the referee is making sure that the injured players is all right first, and whether he will then go across and produce a card for Colin Henry, we'll have to wait and see.
I get carried away like all supporters and watching the game, and I keep yelling for yellow cards now because we got so used to tackles and saying, oh, you get a yellow card for that. I mean, sometimes they're not necessarily given for the right reasons. But that one certainly was a bookable offence, even when I played.
Well, he had certainly got round Henry. Patrick Anderson was covering, so whether he was in what you'd term a goal-scoring position is a very debatable point.
Well, that's nearer a rugby tackle than a football tackle. But if you look where the fullback is, he's really through between them.
Well, if Henry escapes without even a caution, he's a lucky man, and it's apparently just that. Well, the referee hasn't gone to it. So they've got a number of free kick specialists here. Sheffield Wednesday, who could have a pop. Waddle, perhaps. Sheridan, maybe. It is Sheridan! It's a brilliant effort!
He's a very good straightener of the ball, John. This was exactly what I expected him to do. Try to bend it around the right side of the wall or over the top rim, dip it into the right-hand side post. And he did exactly that. Great save as well. What we mean is good as well, he hasn't made many saves tonight. That's about his first one, really.
Good goalkeeping by Mims, who's played every game for Blackburn. Waddle with the corner. And Henry was the man who met it first. Another corner. Shirtliff right in front of him there on the near post.
This is where they've quieted the game down, Sheffield Wednesday. Just take the time on the corners. Any free kick, don't rush it. Just let the game settle a little bit.
Looking again for Shirtliff, and he almost reached it that time. And Wilson whacks the rebound in. And still danger, and Mims in the right place again.
That was a great attempt on Warhurst, that an over-the-head kick. Could have been his hat-trick, but it was a great strike by Danny Wilson. And a good save by Mims again.
So Blackburn momentarily have lost the attacking impetus they started just before half-time and have continued into this second half.
See, Sheffield have pushed out now, and the midfield are competing very, very well. They've got the extra man at the back so that they can pick up the ball played into the holes. And they look very comfortable at the moment, Sheffield Wednesday.
Shirtliff emphasises that with an easy clearance. And the second substitution now by Blackburn Rovers. And Tim Sherwood is the player who's coming off to be replaced by young David May, who has only just returned after a two-match suspension. And is immediately into the action. Battling his way through in the middle. Now Newell. Right. Well, he had plenty of options then, but didn't get the cross right. Warhurst runs it out of play. And it looks now as though what's happened, Jack, is that I've seen this happen before with Blackburn when they need to chase a game. Colin Henry, centre-half, has been pushed into a forward position.
Yeah, well, they've got three players up front now. They've thinned that midfield down by a little and the back four by a little. Now, whether Sheffield Wednesday can exploit this, I would think they probably can.
Henry gives it away that time. And that was a foul, wasn't it, by May? No, the referee has said that Warhurst made a back for him, as they say.
He's done a couple of them. Warhurst does back under the ball, and the defender does run into his back.
Henry winning in a header.
Now, this is a time of the game it's really going to be tested for Sheffield Wednesday. If they allow Blackburn to dictate this last 20 minutes to them, they might get themselves in trouble.
Atkins stabbing it forward. It's a good ball. And Henry's in a good position in the middle. And at the second attempt, Woods makes it and then claims that there should have been a flag.
That definitely should have been a flag. Henry must have been 3-4 yards offside, and there's no excuse at all for the linesman on that side not giving an offside in that situation. He could see it and he let it go.
I think Woods was suggesting as well there might have been the use of an arm to control the ball by Henry. Either way, they didn't get a free kick out of it.
But if that had been another goal, the Sheffield manager would have had something to say about it, because that was definitely well offside, even from this angle.
Well, every time the ball goes out now, Kenny Dalglish and his assistant Ray Harford scurry from their seat to get it straight back to the player taking the throw again. They want to keep the momentum going here. Anderson knocking it forward. Little nudge perhaps by Worthington. No.
This is the time of the game when Sheffield have really got to get a grip of the ball. They've got to get a hold of it, and they've got extra men around. They've got people wide in midfield. They've got to really get a hold of the ball, and they've got to make Blackburn chase for it. And if they can do that, they'll make Blackburn pay for what they're trying to do here.
Foul on Wilson. Quarter of an hour remaining at Ewood Park in this first leg of the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. And Blackburn Rovers trailing Sheffield Wednesday by 4-2. 1 goal for Blackburn now would make an appreciable difference to the second leg, I'm sure. Warhurst looking for the ball to be played to him rather more accurately than that.
Actually, to make a second leg, which I think we're covering.
Yes.
What we could do with is another goal by Blackburn, just to add a bit of spice to the next match. But I don't want that to happen, because I used to manage Sheffield Wednesday and I'm very fond of the club.
I was going to say, you're a brave man to say that, going back to Sheffield as often as you do.
I would like to see Sheffield win this one, but we also would like to see it be a good competition in the next game. And if Sheffield were to score another one, that really would kill the game off completely.
Well, we've already seen tonight how games can change dramatically in the space of a few minutes, so I think that second leg is still wide open, whatever happens here, and that looks like a bad injury. Wegerle lying injured, and Pearson went in very hard with him there and went down very awkwardly. My word, the way his leg turned in that challenge there, it was horrifying even from this range.
It was one of those, it was like two guys on horses with us charging towards each other with a foot up. They both hit each other at exactly the same time, in exactly the same place, actually.
Absolutely no intent on the part of either player there. Pearson's been in the wars a little bit lately, I know.
See, in Europe, when you play in Europe, a tackle like that and a foul like that, the referee would have made a decision one way or the other and given a free kick. Now, how can you adjudicate who's right and wrong there? And which way will this referee give it? They've both done exactly the same thing to each other. They've both gone past the ball. They've both got each other in the middle. And we'll see which way the referee gives a free kick. I think he'll probably give it to Blackburn. Although I would have given it the other way.
Well, he's a tough lad, Nigel Pearson, and Wegerle too has bounced straight back up from what looked a very nasty collision. Kenny Dalglish, who won the League Cup as a player no fewer than 4 times in his Liverpool days, though never as manager at Anfield.
He's looking very serious tonight, Kenny, isn't he? Mind, it is serious when your team are getting beat 4-2 at home and they've got a second leg to come away from home. It is really an uphill battle to get back into the game. But it's finely balanced at the moment. Sheffield are sitting back a little bit and really need to get a hold of the ball and come out and play and get people forward again and score another goal, and they're through. But if they sit back, anything can happen in there when you've got people like Roy Wegerle about who can actually do things inside the box that are totally unexpected.
Nigel Jemson, the other Sheffield Wednesday substitute, keeping himself warm just in case Pearson can't continue here. He's been down for a long time, and that's always worrying. Alan Smith, the physio, helping him to his feet very gingerly. And I have to say, from this range, it doesn't look as though he's going to be able to continue. looks very, very unsteady on that right leg. I think he might have to come off.
It doesn't really matter at this stage of the game.
Well, that's unfortunate if he does have to come off, because he's only been on a few minutes. He looks in trouble. I can't see how he can continue.
They can always put him up front now, just to move about and occupy people's position. The two centre-backs have shown they can handle what's going on this second half. They didn't really need Pearson there. He was an added help and an added bit of security for Trevor. But
he's got to come off, and he's got to be helped off as well. The crowd booing and whistling, suggesting almost that they think this is deliberate time wasting, but if they knew the type of character Nigel Pearson is, they wouldn't do that, because he's as honest as the day is long. He is injured, believe you me. So Nigel Pearson makes one of the briefest appearances in the Coca-Cola Cup this season. And Nigel Jampson, the former Nottingham Forest striker, comes on in his place.
now he's gone into a defensive position here for that. I would much rather have seen Sheffield Wednesday leave a couple of players out of the field, because they've nobody to play the ball out to now.
And after that long delay, Cowans floats the free kick in, and Shirtliff took the job, took the responsibility, headed it away, and the whistle went. They got a free kick anyway. Ten minutes to go, and there'll be a lengthy addition to that for that stoppage for Pearson's injury. Still 4-2 to Sheffield Wednesday.
What a disappointment we haven't had another 4 or 5 goals like we expected, Alan. I did expect some more goals in this half.
We might get them yet. Cowans. Woods under pressure from Henry, but struck the ball well. Anderson's clearance. Cowans onto it again. Haven't seen very much of this young man, Jason Wilcox, in this second half, and that's significant, because he played well for Blackburn in the first.
Yes, he had it. Both teams played much better, and it was a much more open game. The real reason it's not happened in the second half, because there's not been as much room down through the midfield as they had in the first half. Both teams had room and time to play there and get out very square back forwards. In this half, it's been much tighter. You look at the teams, the way they're playing now, look, they're all within about a 40-yard area there. This didn't happen in the first half.
Cowans got that one wrong. Harks wins it back. And the foot raised there by Warhurst. Free kick to Blackburn. When Sheffield Wednesday won this cup a couple of seasons ago, it was their first major trophy for 56 years. Blackburn haven't won a major trophy for 65 years, would you believe? So they will both be looking to this League Cup competition to give them some joy this season. Well, of course, they're both motoring well on various other fronts as well. Dangerous-looking cross played in behind the defenders, and amazingly, when he finally did get a chance as a makeshift centre-forward, Colin Hendry made a bit of a mess of it.
I was unlucky there because it came up at Colin as he was leaning back to strike the ball. It was one of those, if you catch it dead right, it's going to whistle into the back of the net. Just watch. It bounces up as it comes to him. Look. And that's a very difficult ball to keep down. As the ball's rising, you kick through it and it goes up in the air. But a very good piece of play by Blackburn, and an unlucky. I'd like to... It was his left foot as well, actually.
The defending by May at the other end. Wilcox.
You see, there's a situation there where Atkins had a ball played into him. He should never have been allowed to turn around with that ball. There's enough Sheffield Wednesday players in the back line to have come and closed him down and made him go back out with the ball. Instead of which he was allowed to turn around. And had he been a better player in that sort of situation, if it had been someone else, it made him pay. But Sheffield have settled now. They think they can hang on to this. And I don't like to see them doing this. I'd rather they went at them and see if they can get another goal or two.
Certainly Trevor Francis promised to continue the positive approach in the second half, whether they're on the defensive by choice or inclination, I don't know, but they're on the attack now. Not for long, as Sheridan is dispossessed. Don't forget, Jack, you've got an important decision to make with the nomination of man of the match soon.
Alan, you've just told me that. I didn't know that I was doing the man of the match. Now I've got to start looking for the last 10 minutes and who I think.
Certainly few candidates in the first half, but the second half not quite so eventful, and that's an understatement.
Well, on sheer entertainment the first half, I would have given it to Roy Wegerle. But I think if Sheffield are going to win the game, it looks like 4-2, or maybe more. I'm going to go for my own lad. I'm going to give it to John Sheridan. I think he's done very, very well. Scored a goal. Worked very hard and served some lovely passes. So I'll give it to John.
Warhurst, May right behind him, gives it away and then whipped in. That's another cheeky effort. We've certainly seen some lovely skills tonight, and Mims obviously just got a fingertip to that one as Harks tried to lift it over him.
The Blackburn defence certainly looked very, very vulnerable. As soon as Sheffield settled, managed to get somebody who really settled on the ball, they're all at sea, Blackburn at the back. And Sheffield really could have done better than they've done in the second half. They've had some good possession.
It's a good-looking ball in again, and Warhurst laying it off. Oh, that was a fine effort once more by Waddle. So close.
Yes, he knew what he was doing. Chris played the ball into him, followed it, and just struck the ball right at the post at the far side.
Henningberg knocks it long for Newell. Wegerle is in just behind him. And offside against Colin Hendry.
That's one of the worst parts of putting a centre-back up front. You're not used to staying on side, and you tend to chase everything you see, and you forget about that, and people just watching you and letting you go.
There's your man of the match, Jack.
I'm going to give John. I think he's done very, very well in this game. He's actually sweating, which is very rarely you see John do that.
Remaining, plus whatever the referee adds for the long stoppage when Pearson was injured. And incidentally, Nigel Pearson has been taken straight to hospital for x-rays to his injured leg. Let's hope it's not too serious, but clearly Sheffield Wednesday fear it might be. Waddle foul, free kick to Wednesday, who lead here by 4 goals to 2.
The place you play the ball at this stage of the game, into the corner, see if you can get yourself a throw-in or a corner and give it back to them. It doesn't really matter. But now they've got to come through the whole of the team to get at you. And it was a ball that I think I taught Chris at Newcastle. At this stage of the game, you don't try and be positive. When you're getting a result like this, just make it difficult for the opposition.
Good run here by Wegerle, who started this night off in such glorious fashion for Blackburn Rovers. But it doesn't look as though it's going to end too gloriously for them. 4-2 behind. They would dearly, dearly love another goal here. The second leg still over a month away, remember. Newell in possession. Atkins. On it goes to Wegerle. He's got Wilcox outside him, but he won't find him with a ball like that. Obviously, one thing that Blackburn Rovers would have been hoping for is to have Alan Shearer back in contention for the second leg at Hillsborough. 22 goals in 26 games for Shearer before he got injured. But there's been a rumour in the local press here tonight, which Kenny Dalglish wouldn't confirm or deny, that Shearer has had a problem and has broken down again, and that the injury to him has almost gone back to square one, and he's going to have to start his recuperation all over again. But that's only a rumour, I stress. 2 minutes to go. Worthington down the line. Harks. Decent cross by Hart, and bad marking again by Blackburn Rovers, almost cost them dearly, as Jemson suddenly found himself with the ball and a yawning net, and really ought to have put the issue beyond doubt, I thought then. Well, we'll hear Jack's view in a minute when the ball, if it does, goes dead.
It's just nice. Sheffield now are controlling the game completely. He said this, that they had to get a grip of the ball, get a hold of it, don't give it away, keep playing possession. They're good at that.
Should they have had a goal there, though, Jack?
Yeah, but there's a lot of room for them to do this, you see. Blackburn have had to chase the game. You can't leave people up front and bring people back and chase in both directions. Sheffield have got room to play now.
Well, Harks has lost out that time to Hendry. But once again, it comes back to Wednesday. Their fans loving this. Sheridan touching it on for Jemson. And Mims panicked a little bit then. And I would think they've done enough now. Sheffield Wednesday. Mims' night of agony might be over. Conceded 4 goals, the Blackburn keeper. As we see again, this missed chance here by Jemson.
Yes, it was a good chance by Jemson. He actually headed it reasonably well, but not well enough.
One last chance for Blackburn to throw men forward. Newell beaten to it by Nielsen. Now Waddle. We've now moved into stoppage time, and the only stoppage I can recall is for Pearson's injury.
Well, if I wanted anybody to have the ball at this stage of the game, it would be Chris Waddle. Very good at hanging on to it. Chris Woods.
Although the second half here has been largely devoid of really good scoring opportunities, let's not take away from Sheffield Wednesday their splendid first half performance, which earned them the platform, which is going to give them a very, very good prospect of going to Wembley. 4-2 they lead, but that second leg still very much alive, as we've seen in this game. Goals can come from anywhere with these two teams. It's been an open match.
Blackburn, when they go to Sheffield, know what they've got to do, so they can't sit back and defend. They've got to go get the goals back.
May pumping it forward.
They are a very good attacking side.
Sheridan, the man of the match, with a lovely little drag back. Now Waddle. Just a matter of keeping possession now for Sheffield Wednesday.
He's the one.
Impetuous challenge there by Wilson. They've taken the free kick very quickly. Henry's run into a good position and is unmarked.
Oh, and a great save.
That could have been it. That could have really given them a lifeline.
I would have expected him to have scored with that header. It's a great cross, right deep to the far post, and he tremendous save by Chris Woods, down like a flash.
And Sheffield Wednesday survived the corner. And that save by Chris Woods could be just as important as any of the 4 goals that they've scored tonight. The drama not finished yet. We've had 2 minutes of stoppage time here. And Sheffield Wednesday still lead by 4 goals to 2. Blackburn thought then that they'd reduce the deficit to a single goal.
And it's strange, you've had 2 get a great half in the last match. The Arsenal at Crystal Palace in the first half. One-sided there. Same here.
Still hope for Blackburn though as they go forward again. And another effort. Tests Woods from Newell. It's a difficult bounce for him again.
They've been a little bit vulnerable in this last few minutes, Sheffield Wednesday. That could have been the 2-goal lead they've got could have gone. It happens when you do what they're doing at times. Instead of getting out and competing with people, they sit back in front of that back 4 around the box, and nobody competes. And you allow people to have the ball in among them.
They're just got to pump it forward, Blackburn, and not like that. They've given it away. Waddle knocking it long, but too long. One last kick forward by Mims, perhaps, but Waddle's there again. Now Cowans, he knows he's got to get this forward quickly. And delivers it on towards Newell and Wegley. And in the end, the two strikers got in each other's way. Woods will take his time.
Yes, he can dribble his ball out. One of them have got the goal to him now before he needs to kick it. He'll waste 10 or 15 seconds there.
Warhurst at the other end. We've had something like 4 minutes of time added now, so they can't be long.
But we did have a very long stoppage for the two lads when they were injured, you know. It's nice to see a referee give them the time to recover, but then have it on at the end.
Wright knocks it long. Wegley's in there for Blackburn Rovers. Cowans. Wright. The referee's had a little look at his watch. This could be Blackburn's last chance here of getting one more goal to give themselves a lifeline. But it's Sheffield Wednesday who break dangerously again with Waddle. Warhurst and Jemson in support. And Sheridan arrives. Holds it up cleverly for Harks. Well, that wasn't a bad cross. Mims dealt with it very capably. And that's it. It's all over. This dramatic first leg at Ewood Park has ended. Blackburn Rovers 2, Sheffield Wednesday 4. Sheffield Wednesday will think they're almost there, but Blackburn have done enough and shown enough danger to prove that the second leg could be equally entertaining. Trevor Francis is with Gary Newbold.
Trevor, that's a very good win for you, obviously, from the first leg, but that Chris Woods save at the end could prove to be vitally important.
It was an excellent save, wasn't it? 4-2 is obviously better than 4-3. But the way we've been playing recently, you know, I'm very, very pleased with the players. We came here today expecting to win. When you've got the confidence like that, it's very reassuring for a manager.
Are you sorry that's nearly a month from the second leg? Would you like to have got it on while you're on such a good roll?
No, because it gives me a chance to get Bryden Hurst back to fitness.
Good, and it looks as if you're through, really, doesn't it, at 4-2?
No way, no. We've still got another job to do at Hillsborough. We said before the game that we feel that Blackburn will be better away from home.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Well
Pleasure.
Okay, something to look forward to in the second leg. But for the moment, we'll take a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, Mark, I said I thought there'd be more goals in the second half. We didn't get them, but we did get quite a few close affairs, didn't we?
That's right. I don't think it could continue in the same trend as the first half, but I think we'll be well pleased with the result. I think this is a fine save from Chris Woods there.
Wonderful save.
Yeah, he did everything right, Colin Hendry. Got power behind it, headed it down, but Chris was equal to the header, and it's the equivalent of a goal for us, that.
Yeah. Now, your lads, Waddle, who was in excellent form, I thought, tonight.
Yeah. He sends 2 or 3 people the wrong way there on his left foot, then comes back on his right, and it's an excellent save from the goalkeeper. I think he just crept in the top.
Well, the old goalkeepers had a busy night either end, didn't they?
Yeah.
And this is John Sheridan's free kick.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, this is the kind of thing he practices on the training ground, and it's a fine save from the keeper just onto the post.
Okay. Well, we had some other games being played tonight. I've got some results here. Arsenal 0, Wimbledon 1, Chelsea Liverpool 0-0, Palace beaten Aston Villa, Everton 1, Tottenham 2, Southampton 3, Norwich 0, and down in the Barclays Division 1, Derby County 1 at home for a change, 3-0, Southend 1 and Bristol City 0. Right, now we change our attention now to boxing, and the proposed clash between Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis unify the heavyweight championship of the world. Now the Lewis camp is considered